Ever wanted a cheat day meal without the damage? Here's your answer. Crispy chicken and pineapple French toast. High protein, won't wreck your week, and it hits every single craving. First, we'll make our fruity pineapple pink peppercorn salsa, then our fresh pink pickled onions, our creamy coriander sauce, our air fried coconut chicken, and our pineapple French toast. We'll kick things off with our pineapple pink peppercorn salsa. So start by getting yourself a fresh pineapple and simply chop the tops and bottoms off. From here, you just want to stand it upright and slice around the outside of the pineapple, removing all of the skin and husk. Once here, simply slice down the pineapple with your knife to remove the outer flesh and decore the pineapple. Then you just want to slice up the pineapple into some nice looking cubes. They should be around roughly 1 centimeter, but make sure not to stress over this. It really doesn't matter. You just don't want them too big and chunky, so it gives you a nice finesse looking salsa. Once you've chopped them all up, get them into a pot or a frying pan. Make a small well in the middle and add roughly 30 grams of coconut oil. This should be on a relatively high heat to get things going. And once all of the coconut oil is melted, add in 2 teaspoons of ground pink peppercorn. Mix up the pink peppercorn in this little coconut oil well, which is just going to heat up and release all of its aromatic flavors. And then add another 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. Again, give this a stir about, and at this point you could probably turn it down to medium. The last thing you want to do is leave it on high and have those sugars in the pineapple burn the dish. Let it cook down for about another 5 minutes or so, and it should be getting a bit sticky, caramelized and gummy, which is great. This is exactly where we want it heading. Now, deglaze the pan with some lime juice. I'm going to use a whole lime here and give it another stir about. So we're really building some incredible flavors here, guys. We've got the sweetness from the pineapple, the fruity aromatics from the pink peppercorn, smokiness from the paprika, and we're rounding it out with fresh acidity from the lime. The end result will be sweet, smoky, sour, and straight up delicious. From here, cook for another 10 minutes or so until fully caramelized and golden. Of course, give it a stir about from time to time to make sure it doesn't stick to the pan or burn. Now onto our fresh pickled pink onions. Get a couple of red onions and again chop the tops and bottoms off. From here, peel the outside skin off, chop in half, and then slice as finely as possible. Transfer to a bowl or a plate. Add the juice of 2 limes and 1 heaped teaspoon of salt. Mix up until fully incorporated and set aside in the fridge. Now our creamy coriander sauce. So get yourself 2 bunches of fresh and washed coriander. Roughly chop up, and again, it can be super rough. It doesn't have to be precise at all. This is just going straight in the blender anyway. So get it in there alongside 90 milliliters of cider vinegar, 75 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil, a heaped teaspoon of salt, 30 milliliters of agave syrup, 10 grams of coriander seeds, optionally and very optionally a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum, and roughly half a glass of water. So blend this up into the smooth green sauce, but I'll advise to get the best out of this. If you're not using xanthan gum, that's absolutely fine, but add your olive oil slowly at the end whilst it's blending. That will make sure you get that silky smooth, restaurant quality gloss and texture. So decant this, but before you put it away in the fridge, let's move on to our creamy coriander sauce. For this, you're going to take a small bowl and add 3 heaped tablespoons of Greek yogurt to 1 heaped tablespoon of light mayonnaise, keeping those calories as low as possible. To this, add roughly 4 teaspoons of the coriander sauce itself. Give this a mix up, and now both of the sauces can go in the fridge. Next, moving on to our crispy coconut chicken. First off, what you're going to have to do is get 350 grams of Special K and blend it in a food processor. This is going to be a much healthier, higher fiber alternative to breadcrumbs. Next, add 50 grams of desiccated coconut and 5 grams of black sesame seeds. This is where we're getting more good healthy fats into the dish. And in another 2 baking trays, you just want to get some plain flour and some whisked up eggs. I used about 3 whole eggs here. Now for the chicken, what I've got here is 2 free-range chicken breasts that I've butterflied to open up a bit. Get it straight into the flour to start and turn it over so the flour is fully incorporated and sticking to all of that chicken breast. Please don't skip this step. I've tried before and the egg wash simply doesn't stick to the chicken. Give the chicken a bit of a shake about to get rid of all that excess flour, and then dip it gently into the egg wash. If you can, try use 1 hand for the dipping and 1 hand for the coating. So 1 hand wet, 1 hand dry. Again, turn Turn the chicken breast around so it's all fully coated in the egg wash. And then once done, move it over to the sesame, coconut and Special K mix. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the second breast out of the way now as well. Into the flour, fully covered, into the egg wash, and again into the Special K breadcrumbs. From here, I'm just going to push the breast down a bit, just to make sure it's all getting coated in the breadcrumbs on the bottom side. Then just lift up more of the breadcrumb mixture on top of the chicken breasts as well. I can't tell you how much you're going to love this. It is so good and also so much healthier than normal fried chicken. So if you've taken your loving care with these, they should look something like this at this point. But again, I'm just going to keep covering, keep pushing, making sure that every single piece of this is coated. From here, I'm just going to spray my air fryer with a bit of neutral oil, sunflower, vegetable, that sort of thing. If you don't have an air fryer, that is completely fine. Just get yourself a nice non-stick frying pan, and again, just a bit of the neutral oil in there. Obviously, the less oil you use, the healthier it's going to be. Assuming you are using an air fryer, go ahead and just put a little spritz on top as well. This then goes in 200 degrees for 25 minutes. Or in a pan, it should take also around 20-25 minutes. Cook on medium and flip halfway through. Next, moving on to our pineapple French toast. So I've got 2 whisked up whole eggs in a dish here, and we're just going to take some of that pineapple salsa we made earlier. 2 heaped-ish tablespoons will do. Add it to the egg, and then get a fork and start mashing it up with the backside. You want to get it so some bits are fairly pureed and mushy, other bits are still a bit chunky. Next, I want you to get yourself a nice loaf of sourdough and cut yourself a lovely thick slice, about 5 to 6 centimeters thick. Take this and just sit it gently into the pineapple whisked eggs. From here, turn it around, spin it around, keep pushing and pressing down. And what I did was ever so slightly start digging your fingers into the bread to slightly break it up a bit. Essentially, what that's going to do is just help those little pineapple bits get in the nooks and crannies and stick to the bread. From here, add your coconut oil, which as we know is linked to good cholesterol. And with the pan on medium heat, add your pineapple French toast. It should be starting to look a delicious golden brown color, and it helps to just sort of push down with both spatulas as I'm doing here. But if you have a kitchen weight, even better, just use that. After about 10 to 12 minutes of cooking, flipping regularly, you can now take this off the pan and onto your serving plate, because now it's time for the final assembly. So first thing you want to do is get your creamy coriander sauce out of the fridge and start layering this down generously on the French toast. At this point, if you've timed everything well, your chicken should just about be coming out of the air fryer. They should be crispy, crunchy, delicious, and hard to resist taking a bite out of. But if you can refrain, go ahead and layer these down one on top of the other. Next, you want to get some of that delicious, vibrant coriander sauce and just start pouring it as you go evenly across all of the chicken. From here, back with the creamy coriander, which I've just thinned out with a touch of water, and pour this all over to get this beautiful marbled effect. From here, we're going back with our sweet and sour pink peppercorn pineapple salsa. Just go ahead and place this on top and use a generous amount. And lastly, we can't forget our pickled pink onions, which are going to help in cutting through the fattiness of the bottom layers. So there you have it, a cheat day dish that isn't really cheating. Trust me when I say this hits way harder than a takeaway, and it won't have you clawing back your macros or diet for the next week. If you like this recipe, sub to the channel for more high protein, healthy recipes, and I'll see you for the next one.